Conflicting signals from Washington vis-a-vis New Delhi. Minutes before Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the SCO, the U.S. Embassy in India pushed out a social media message actually praising the U.S.-India partnership. But that positive tone sits uneasily with sharp criticism coming from within the Trump administration. This is the message on X that kicks up fresh confusion on the U.S. stance on India. The U.S. Embassy in New Delhi terms ties with India a defining relationship of the 21st century. The tweet celebrates shared progress in innovation, defense and bilateral cooperation, urging people to follow the hashtag US-India Forward for our people. The U.S. Embassy also quotes Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Rubio refers to the enduring friendship between the two countries as the bedrock of cooperation and key to realizing the tremendous potential of U.S.-India economic ties. Now, for the timing of this U.S. Embassy message, it came as Prime Minister Modi and President Putin traveled together in the same car to the destination of their bilateral meeting after conclusion of the SCO Summit in Tianjin. India has refused to join Western sanctions on Russia, instead arguing that discounted energy purchases are vital for its growth. Early in the day, the Prime Minister of India shared warm moments with Russian President Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping as they met on the sidelines of the summit. The three exchanged smiles, handshakes and hugs, and a rare display of camaraderie. The fact is, the upbeat note of today's message from the embassy goes completely against the tone and tenor of remarks from inside Washington's power corridors. Donald Trump's trade counselor, Peter Navarro, has launched repeated attacks on India and the Prime Minister of India. Navarro has repeatedly accused New Delhi of bankrolling Russia's war in Ukraine by buying discounted oil from Russia. He warned that India's deepening economic links with Moscow and Beijing threaten global stability. Navarro has even branded it Modi's war. His latest attack says Brahmins are profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. We need to stop that. So while one arm of the US government pushes partnership, another questions India's credibility and intent, the conflicting messages highlight a larger dilemma in Washington, balancing strategic cooperation with India against frustration of its Russia and China ties. For New Delhi, the contrast raises a clear question. Is Washington truly committed to building a long-term relationship or partnership, or is it reserving the right to publicly chastise when policies do not align? All right, let's talk to our correspondent, Susan Teherani, who's now joining us live from New York. Susan, good to see you. What is Washington saying about the camaraderie or the bonhomie between President Xi, Prime Minister Modi, and President Putin?
So talking about the messages that's coming out of Washington, it appears that and especially the latest post by President Trump, it appears that they're looking for some kind of restructuring and not an all-out severance of ties between India and the United States. They want market access on the one hand, they want India to move away from Russia on the other. And the Trump administration basically sees tariffs as being transactional and a tool for negotiations and reaching its means. And so there has been some confusion now that the State Department has put forth a positive note, contrary to all of the talk that Peter Navarro, Trump's trade advisor, has been putting out. And the reason for that is it's because it's been receiving criticism in the past 48 to 72 hours. Notably from experts and from different outlets, newspaper and media, Republicans included, that how the Trump administration is going after India is not to the best interest of the United States. So I think you see that sort of change of tone coming from the State Department, but nonetheless, someone like Peter Navarro, who might not have a nuanced understanding about what's happening inside India, tries to win support here, a domestic audience, by, using terms that he thinks means that when India buys Russian oil, it's to the benefit of the country's elites and not the Indian people. Again, not understanding the nuances of India's domestic policies and politics. And so it appears that they were concerned about this. That's why the State Department came ahead with that. But I also think that President Trump is now concerned about the criticism, perhaps, that he's facing, even perhaps from those inside his own administration, the way and the manner that they want to move forward with India. The Trump administration's approach, not just with India, with any country, has always been transactional. It's never been really diplomatic as in previous administrations. But it appears that there may be some sort of shift. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear from Navarro for some time now, and there might be sort of a re-evaluation about the words and language that they've been using.
All right, Susan Tehran, it's good to see you. We'll have to end it there. Thank you very much for talking to us today.